Hey, welcome back to our channel, Marketplace for Sellers Only. Today we're going to talk about zero views and how to fix that. But we're really going to deep dive into the listing and exactly what it is that it takes to create a listing that's a winning listing so that you can make money on Marketplace. Step one, what you're going to do is go through all of your listings and you're going to delete the ones with zero views. Everything. This is step one. Don't skip this step. If you skip the step, it's probably not going to work. So zero views, gone. Get them out. Step number two, list a product with local pickup. Local pickup. Step number two. And you're going to list it with a different zip code. So find a different zip code, maybe dream about a place where you thought you'd love to live. I don't know, put that zip code in there. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Change the zip code. You're resetting the system. Then step number three on this is that listing is going to go to somebody and they're going to say, hey, is this listing available? It can be a friend, preferably not somebody who's close to you, like somebody maybe on your friend list that's a little bit more distanced, but have them click on the link and start talking to you through the chat. Don't talk to you through the friends. Make sure that it's through the Messenger app, through Facebook Marketplace. They're going to start having a fake conversation with you. Hey, is this available? Actually, yes, it is. Can I answer any questions? Just have that fake conversation. And at the end, you're going to arrange for payment, which you can use Venmo, Cash App, any of those other payment types that you want to say, not Facebook Pay, not checking out through the app. And you just need to tell them that you will mark it as sold as soon as you receive payment, and they can come pick it up anytime. When they say, great, I'll send it now, then you can say, hey, I got it. Thank you so much. I'm going to mark it as sold. Then you're going to put it as sold on Facebook. Then Facebook's going to bring up the little dots that say, did you sell it on Facebook? Did you sell it somewhere else? Did you haven't sold it, or you wish to not respond? You're going to click on it that you sold it on Facebook. Then it's going to come up with the person that you had the conversation with. Is this the person you sold it to? Yes, you did. Click save. The listing is sold. Now start listing regularly. You can use the regular zip code that you would normally do. Let it start working for you again. Not sure why that works, but I used it a couple months ago for myself, and it worked really well. Second way of being able to reset your marketplace, I know nobody actually wants to do this. I'd say last resort, delete everything. Anything that has inventory where you have like more than one item on it, bring it down to zero. Because if you sold something on it, you can't really delete it. It's okay. Just bring it down to zero. Everything else, zero it out. Just everything. Delete every listing that you have. Have a way to back up when you're starting to relist that you're putting on good quality items so that they do sell and they do a good job selling. Okay, now we're going to deep dive in what Facebook actually thinks a good listing is and how they choose to show your listing versus another listing. On the Facebook commerce platform, there is a Facebook page called facebook.com/legal/commerce_ranking. I know it's a lot. I'll just put it in the link below for you. But it's the commerce ranking disclosure where it basically goes through and says, look, this is how we rank a listing. This is how we choose to sell it or to show it to a prospective buyer. Now, I'm going to backtrack just a little bit because when we talked about the reset button or when we talked about even deleting all of your listings, you have what's called a list to sell ratio. To me, it just makes sense that if you have a bunch of listings that are not selling and they're just kind of sitting there, or I even call it dead weight, if we get rid of that and we're only showing things that we know are listing, a list to sell ratio goes like this. If you have 100 listings and 25 of them sell, then you have a 25% list to sell ratio. Maybe that's not a very good list to sell ratio. Whereas if you had 50 listings and 25 of them sold, That's a 50% list to sell ratio. So anytime I've gone in and even just deleted the 0 views or the low views, my sales go up every time. And I believe, and this is just Lisa's school of thought, that your list to sell ratio does go up. Now, it is a good idea to list every day and to be active on the platform. Otherwise, your business will start to go down. But you want to be making sure that you're cleaning up. If you're doing a garden, for example, and you get the dirt ready and you sow the seeds into the ground and you're watering it and they're starting to come up and these beautiful vegetables and fruit, the beautiful vegetable and fruit that you just produced, and then all of a sudden you get these extra critters that are coming in. Those extra critters can actually come in and take over your garden. You have to go in and weed it out and pull out the garbage. And it's the same thing with our listings. Even though we are going in and we're adding to it every day and we're active on the platform and the algorithm is seeing that we're there and we're actively doing stuff, we still have to be going in and looking and saying, hey, this item isn't really working. So I either need to go in and fix it and change it to get it to sell, or I need to take it off and rethink it. Be thinking about stuff like that, because everything isn't always about just resetting everything. Sometimes it's just about going in and cleaning up the garden so that you can continue to reap the harvest that's there for you. Okay, let's get back to the commerce ranking disclosure, and hopefully that wasn't too far off the beaten path as an example. What it goes through is searches, engagement, demographics, the listing quality, the product seller quality, and then it talks about sponsored content and how that works. When I read it, and I want you guys to read it too, I want you to give me your opinion down in the comments. When a user runs a search, what they're doing is they're looking to put that user with what they're looking at based on what they've done in the past. They're looking for relevant terms. I want you to think about when you go and you search for something like maybe on Google or YouTube or even Facebook, because we have to remember that Facebook is actually a search engine. We can search for a lot of things on Facebook. And when we're on Marketplace, we are searching. It might be a social platform. Just like Pinterest is a social platform, it's also a search engine. We did a previous video about a week ago about how I purchase on Marketplace and how I flip products by buying straight from the Marketplace. We used Jim Shore, which is a collectible figurine that I don't ever have a problem selling. It's a great item to sell. When I find Jim Shore for cheap, I always buy Jim Shore, and I turn around and I sell it. How do I list it? I list it Jim Shore, Heartwood Creek, because that's the name of the person who makes the figurine, the name of the company. I could even put an ESCO on there, but I've never needed to. And then I put the name of the figurine and the height of the figurine. Anyway, I just put all that information in the top line. Because if someone's going to be looking for something specific, they're probably going to type in either Jim Shore or figurine, or they're going, but those are the key words that need to be in there very first. And I apologize for my son in the background. He's playing games in his room. So anyway, so what you're going to put all that information up. The next thing is engagement. What they're saying is they rely on signals to users' browsing and shopping activity within the Facebook products. They put an example, will suggest product listings on shops similar to product listings that users have previously viewed. So if I'm looking for Jim Shore is going to come up again on my platform every time. So engagement is really important to them. Of course it is. It's how we choose to look. Engagement is going to rely on the signals that you use. So for example, if I typed in Jim Shore, they're going to show me Jim Shore, but they're also going to show me other things that might be related to Jim Shore, maybe precious moments, maybe something of that sort. So for example, it uses the example baby strollers. If you type in a baby carrier or baby strollers, then they're going to maybe show you baby toys, baby shops, and other things other than just strollers. Demographics are signals, would be like age, location, maybe interest. If someone says they like volleyball a lot, they might show more things that relate to that person's interests. So it's not always just about your listing, but about the user and how the user sees the platform. Listing quality. Now, user searches and listing quality are probably two of the most important things that I read in this, but it talks about how it says we want to show the user product listings that meet their expectations and quality and reliability. It's talking about good pictures, make high content, high quality pictures, prices that are relative to the value of the product. We have to think about those things when we're putting something up. We just can't put whatever. Is it possible that they could be shadow banning a listing if you put $1 on it? Possibly. It could also be possible that they're shadow banning your listing if they think it's too high. So you really kind of got to think about those things when you're posting a listing. And then it also talks about sponsored content, and that's just the boostings and the things that are going to happen when you choose to boost a listing. Basically, what it's saying with sponsored content is the only people that get their listings boosted are people who paid for it in the boosted listings, and there isn't any other way to do it except for with the boosted listings. A couple things outside of, and I'll let you guys read this and decide for yourself and read between the lines on the commerce ranking disclosure. A couple things that I think are good practices when you're listing. Number one, list when people are online. If maybe you remember back in the day of Craigslist when you would post something and it would be up here. And then by the end of the day, it's clear down here and all the new posts are up here. Well, you got to figure that your post is going to be very similar to that. Even though they're doing user searches, engagements, and demographics and listing quality and all of that, there's still some things that are just the nuts and bolts. List a new listing when the buyers are out there. So, for example, if the buyers are all getting home at 3:30, 4 o'clock on the East Coast, then you probably should start listing your items around then. The same goes with renewing and or the delete relist button. Do it when people are at home, when they're searching online, so that you have the freshest content in front of their face. Make sure that you have the best listings, the best visibility, so that when there's 15 listings sitting in front of their face, the first one that their eye goes to is yours, so that yours gets sold quickly. Use Canva. Canva.com is like one of the best free programs out there, in my opinion, that you can go in and really showcase your listings. Thanks for coming with us today. I hope you guys enjoyed this information and that it's helpful to you. Come and join us on our Facebook group. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.